Freedom Global News.
Federal High Court restrains Kano State Government from dissolving leadership of Kano Chamber of Commerce. Former APC chairman formally hands over party's leadership to newly elected chairman. House of Representatives summoned Minister of Transportation over Kaduna State attacks on airport and railways. And on the foreign scene, Iraq legislators fail for the third time to elect new president. Good evening. You're listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5. Today is the 30th of March, 2022. And now the news in full. Murja Suleiman Zubairu, the mother of 5-year-old Hanifa Abubakar, today broke down in tears while testifying in court in the ongoing case against Hanifa school proprietor Abdul Malik Tanko. Tanko is charged along with 2 others for allegedly kidnapping and murdering Hanifa while testifying as the 7th prosecution witness today. The 38-year-old Murja narrated how she took Hanifa to her Islamia school on December 4th, 2021, and all that occurred up till Tanko's arrest. She said when she saw Tanko at the police station, she asked him what Hanifa did to him and what she did to him, and that Tanko begged for forgiveness, saying it was a money problem and he knew he would get the money from them. The emotional mother recalled that it was Hanifa that brought the school flyer to them and asked to be enrolled in the school, and that she initially refused her late daughter's request, adding that from the first day they took the slain youngster to the school, she, Hanifa, had warmed up to her would-be killer. Meanwhile, the matter has been adjourned to April 12th for cross-examination of the witness. A federal high court sitting in Kano and presided over by Justice Jane Esinawan Inyang had restrained the Kano State Governor, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, from dissolving the leadership of the Kano Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture. The court also restrained the governor and all other respondents in the suit from the subsequent appointment of Alhaji Lawal Sulegaru and Ambassador Muntari Gashash as caretaker committee of Kano Chamber of Commerce. The governor ordered the dissolution of the leadership following the crisis rocking the chamber. The tenure of the leadership of Alhaji Dalhatu Abubakar as its president elapsed in October 2021, and since then the chamber has been engulfed in one crisis after the other. Upon a motion ex parte by counsel to Usman H. Dharma and other 2 plaintiffs in the case dated 14th March 2022 and filed on 21st March 2022, the court has ordered all parties to maintain the status originated summons. The chairman, All Progressive Congress Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Governor Maimala Buni, today formally handed over the party's leadership to the newly elected chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu. Before the last Saturday's APC National Convention, Buni, who is Yobe State Governor, has been saddled with the responsibility of piloting affairs of the party as caretaker chairman for more than 20 months. Hours after being sworn in as APC chairman, Adamu assumed office at Buhari House, the party's national secretariat, after the formal handover by Buni in the brief ceremony at the National Working Committee Hall of the secretariat. Adamu, alongside members of the National Working Committee, was received by a waiting crowd of supporters. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has announced that it has achieved Maturity Level 3, a global benchmark by the World Health Organization. The Maturity Level 3 categorization, apart from assuring Nigerians the drugs approved in the country are of high quality and safe, puts the country in a good place to start manufacturing its own vaccines. This makes NAFDAC the 3rd in Africa and among the very few agencies in the world to achieve this global benchmark in terms of quality of medicines, regulatory inspection, laboratory testing, clinical trials, market control. Speaking in a briefing in Abuja, NAFDAC Director General Professor Mojisola Adeye said the WHO global benchmarking is all about comparing regulatory agencies with the best in the world. WHO told us we had to meet 868 recommendations before we can get to maturity level 3. She added that this is a great achievement for NAFDAC. The next step is maturity level 4, which they are already working on. This will bring greater news to the pharmaceutical industry. This will mean that any product approved by NAFDAC in Nigeria can be traded globally. That is where the vision lies. Following the Super Eagles' failure to qualify for Qatar 2022, football enthusiasts have called for the departure of the country's football chief, Amaju Melvin Pinnick. Correspondent Hawa Adamikiawa has details of this and other sports updates.
The Nigeria Football Federation President Amaju Melvin Pinnick has been asked to resign by football fans in the wake of the country's failure to qualify for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Needing a win to qualify for the global football showpiece, Augustine Egavon's men managed only a 1-1 draw against the Black Stars of Ghana in Abuja yesterday. Pinnick has been blamed for the Super Eagles' failure to make it through to the competition billed for the Middle East country, and that has led to a public outcry by angry Nigerian fans on social media. Similarly, former Super Eagles goalkeeper Vincent Nyema has reacted to the Super Eagles goalkeeping problem after Nigeria failed to qualify for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Francis Uzoho, who replaced injured Maduka Okoye, made a costly error that ultimately eliminated the Super Eagles. Uzoho allowed a shot from Ghana's captain Thomas Partey to squirm under his body and into the net. It could be recalled that it was also a goalkeeper mistake that cost Nigeria the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt after a blunder by goalkeeper Daniel Akpeyi. Meanwhile, a section of Nigerians took to social media calling on the Nigeria Football Federation to tender an apology to former Super Eagles coach Gernot Rohr after the country failed to qualify for the 2022 Qatar World Cup. The Eagles put in a poor display in the second leg of the final playoff and had their hopes of playing dashed by their West African rivals. In another update, the prospect of 5 substitutes being allowed in Premier League matches is likely to move closer tomorrow. It is due to be one of the significant topics for discussion at the shareholder meeting of all 20 clubs. 5 substitutes were introduced across the game in May 2020 after the shutdown caused by the coronavirus pandemic. A succession of managers, including Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola, spoke out against the decision. And on tennis, British number 1 Cameron Norrie was hampered by a calf injury as he was knocked out of the Miami Open with a 6-3, 6-4 defeat by 6th seed Casper Ruud. Hawa Adamikiawa, Freedom Radio.
The Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com. Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The House of Representatives has summoned the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, and Chief of Defense Staff, Lucky Irabu, over the attack on Kaduna Airport and the Abuja-Kaduna train. Also to appear before the House are the Chief of Army Staff, Farouk Yahya, Chief of Air Staff, the Director General of Federal Aviation Authority of Nigeria, FAN, the Managing Director of Nigerian Railway Corporation, Fidet Okiria, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali, the National Security Advisor, Muhammad Mongono, and others. The House charged its leadership of the House to meet with the officials today. The decision followed a motion of urgent national importance moved by Nnoli Naji on Tuesday during plenary. The motion by Mr. Nnoli was amended to include the bombing of the Kaduna-bound train on Monday. Meanwhile, the Federal Executive Council today in Abuja observed a minute of silence at its meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari to honor the victims of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack, which happened Monday night. At the start of the meeting, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, called for a minute of silence for the 8 departed souls, which included a medical doctor, Chinelo Megafu, Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress, Musa Lawal Ozigi, Kwara State Chairman of TUC, Akin Akinsola, among others. Over 46 persons were also injured, with several others kidnapped. For tomorrow's weather forecast in some cities in Nigeria and parts of Niger Republic.
Kano tomorrow morning is expected to have clear sky and light wind at an average temperature of 20 degrees Celsius and later change to 29 degrees Celsius at noon. Dutse in Jigawa State will have similar weather condition at 20 degrees Celsius and subsequently increase to 36 degrees Celsius with gentle breeze. Kaduna will have partly cloudy sky at 22 degrees Celsius and later change to 35 degrees Celsius with moderate breeze. Abuja will experience clear sky and light wind at an average temperature of 20 degrees Celsius and later change to 34 degrees Celsius with moderate breeze. Lagos will have clear sky and light wind at an average temperature of 21 degrees Celsius and later change to sunny sky and light wind at 36 degrees Celsius. While moving to Niger Republic, Maradi and Zindar will have clear sky and light wind at an average temperature of 22 degrees Celsius and later change to sunny intervals at 36 degrees Celsius at noon. Saparao Tijan Adam, Freedom Radio.
In business, Muhammad Abba Abdullahi has updates.
President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed concern over the current tax system in the country, categorized by fragmented administration, multiple and overlapping taxes. The president stated this while declaring open the second National Tax Dialogue Week to enhance revenue generation. The chairman of Federal Inland Revenue Services, Muhammad Nani, has recognized the president for his directive to government agencies to enable FIRS connect to their ICT systems. Nani said the average tax or FIRS contribution to Federation Account Allocation Committee in 2021 was 59.45%. Meanwhile, the World Bank has revealed that poverty reduction stagnated since 2015, with more Nigerians falling below the poverty line over the years. According to the Washington-based bank, the number of poor Nigerians is projected to hit 95.1 million in 2022. Report says that the COVID-19 pandemic pushed over 5 million more Nigerians into poverty by 2022. Muhammad Abba Abdullahi, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, Iraqi legislators have failed for a third time to elect a new president for lack of a quorum. Officials said, deepening the war-scarred country's political crisis. The continued failure by parliament to select a president after last year's elections reflects a deep schism between Shia political groupings. The Parliament's press service said today, without giving a date for a new session, that the Assembly adjourned its session until further notice. Iraqi's federal court has given legislators until April 6th to choose a new president. A parliamentary source told reporters that only 178 out of 329 lawmakers were present in Parliament today, far short of the two-thirds quorum required for the vote. As in the previous two aborted votes last Saturday and February 7th, today's session was boycotted by a major Shia coalition bloc in Parliament. We've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team and I, Zara Zanna, thank you for listening.
Gaunan mun janyo furi da mun kokunno, mu muke ta kwararo tun da mun kukurno, tun da mun sirdato mu waye dan mun murno, tun da mun jajjono mu waye dan kukunno, mu ne farko ake ta bibiyo, mu ne muka faro kirkiro da wayo, ga furi da